No, hello people, and welcome back to part 25 of the build guide 2. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for all support again. I'm saying this every week now. The last two videos especially have done insanely well and also broke 70,000 subscribers, which is a major milestone on the channel, so welcome to everyone that's new. I'm glad you're all enjoying the content and indeed the enormous back catalogue of vanilla content that we have on the channel. If you are new, please do go check out Palaven, Novaria, Noob's Guide series. There's lots of more vanilla ideas to be had. But we are back in Orchid Bay, right? The build guide 2. And today is very much just going to be a chill session and hopefully some fun new ideas to increase the population. I want to do a little bit of green cities here thanks to some great suggestions from last episode. We also had someone suggest that we should absolutely put in a playground for our Sims here in the mall so the kids have somewhere to hang out while the adults are shopping. Great suggestion. That's a perfect asset to sit alongside our mall. So yeah, we're going to bring some train lines through today. I want to extend this national line through the mountain so we can have intercity trains arriving at the mall, and then we'll probably actually set up an internal train line here to loop over to these other bays eventually. But it should be a ton of fun surrounding our mall with some outer line suburbia. Bit of a low density practice today with some high density towers. Let's expand our population, shall we? And the first thing we'll do for the area is actually bring in that train line. So we're going to tunnel this through the hill and then bring it out the other side. So I want to see if we can start adding some designs into this area over here. So we're going to use some content creator stations. Let's go ahead and grab some of Bad Peanut's Old Faithfuls. They're much better than the vanilla ones. So we haven't used this one yet, have we? The Ground Island platform station. And there's also underground metro that we need to converge with here as well. So we'll factor that into exactly what's going to happen in this area. But let's go for that. And can we double this up? Yes, we can. Yeah, perfectly actually. That might be a bit of appreciated asset repetition, so why don't we see if we can get that in. We'll have that there. How do we feel about that as a sort of a larger fused transport hub, right? So my thinking here is one will accept intercity lines and we'll probably keep the intercity line running along this way. And then we can separate out an internal line here that also goes sort of maybe through the mountain here, or sort of completes a loop around to the other side of the bay, I guess. I don't really know what's going to sit over here yet. It's 25 tile jobs, really. We will get out there eventually, of course. Cool. So let's just start exploring now where these rails are going to go together. So we'll remove all the roads first. We really want to let the rail take priority through this area. Like I said, we'll keep our rail lines going. And we'll worry about where that goes. At the minute, it doesn't go anywhere, but it's at least an intercity line prepared. And then I'd like to keep these running parallel because it's going to give us quite a nice aesthetic. And then once they reach their sort of curves, we can then meander this through hopefully a hillside and then bring it out on a tunnel for a new internal train line system that can help serve other areas. So that should keep it nice and busy. So we'll just remove all these roads here. We will bring in obviously some suburban road. I think we're just going to go for European suburbia here. I was thinking about actually doing some sort of mid-century modern, but I think it's a bit fancy for what I want out this way, I think. So usually two rail crossings that close together, I wouldn't usually do, but because they're not both intercity lines and one's currently a non-existent internal line, we should be able to get away with that. And then we'll prepare this line here to eventually complete the big internal train loop that serves this area eventually, okay? Because we're going to have no highways over here, so it's really important that we now start to prepare these higher density versions of public transport. And we also want metro stopping here as well. So again, I think probably the regular underground station is the most appropriate choice here. We could also have this one and split the line. Cool, and that also allows our metro to converge there now as well. We can probably do some happy little walking path detail in here, I reckon. Bring them down here, start to create a bit of an interconnected walkability area here. But I'm going to be pretty happy with that, I think. It's going to be some nice big sort of chunky, important looking transport assets here, isn't it? And I don't think Averse possibly partnering this with a bit of high density commercial, a bit of a sort of social hub, maybe a couple of parks around here as well. I don't think would go amiss. Let's go ahead and stick in a large playground. Kids can enjoy the zooming trains going past. Well, they will one day once the trains actually exist. That's a good point actually. Whilst they don't exist, we should actually turn off this station here, because otherwise we're just paying upkeep for no point of it. Well, there you go, right there's the first intercity passenger on the way. Wonderful, fantastic news. So let's turn our attention now toward this little green cities area. So we had a great suggestion last episode that some green cities would partner really nicely with the mall, and I'm 100% in agreement here. And there's some assets that I want to try and bring into a repeated pattern in vanilla. So we're going to give this area a new name. After the wonderful person that suggested it, big shout out to Dust Vixen. We are going to go for Vixen Heights here as the name for our little green cities high density development. Of course, we want to give this the self-sufficient one there as well. So we have to be very careful here. So we're looking for a 4x3 zoning like that, okay? We want to make sure that the rest of the zonings around it will continue to respect it. So this side we want to leave 3 deep. So again, we can repeat the pattern in this space and so on and so forth until the entire thing comes in. It's going to take a little while, but it'll be a project worth waiting for, I think. And you might be a little chungus for me. You're okay though, you can stay. That's fine. Cool, so we didn't put a fire station over here last episode, did we? No, just a police station in the mall. So let's add a fire station over here as well. We can probably make this part of our sort of town centre, you know, because this kind of, it really is a town centre. All the suburbs are going to be based around these train stations. And it's going to be quite a nice time, I think. So let's see where we can possibly squeeze in our fire station. I do kind of want this as a main street asset. It's just kind of nice, isn't it? Just go for that then. Bit of European firehouse. I think I'm going to be happy with that. Cool, that's starting to grow up now. We definitely want to make sure that these guys do have plenty of road access in and out of here. Hopefully it's the one I want. Yes, it is. Wonderful. There we go. That's a successful zoning, isn't it? So now we just want to repeat the same thing, right? It's this building here with the wood panelling on it that we're an enormous fan of, right? I think this is going to pair really nicely with our mall that we did last episode. Wonderful. So we'll wait for a few of those to come in. And once we do have that pattern in, so the next one here is going to have to be 3 deep, and then we can get the final one in. And then I think around these clusters of towers, because we'll do a few little pops of them as if they're sort of developments we can flesh out with kind of service buildings, almost like it is sort of like an enclosed residential community. I guess we can sort of run with that vibe. So the measurements here are 360 by 360, so it's a perfect block, isn't it? So let's do 360 there, and then there again. Okay, you could actually mix and match them if you want to, but I'm very set on asset repetition here, so I will be patient for them. Let's have into the wonderful world of med clinic as well, because I think a community pool would actually work quite nicely in and among all these towers. So let's have this over here as well. So I think I do just want this to be European suburbia. We do have it set as mid-century modern at the minute, but it's a little too rich and fancy for what I'm after here. This is just like generic outer-lying suburbia. So in that case, European suburbia is going to be the best fit for it, I think. So let's time-lapse up some road frames so we can start fitting some population and also respecting the sort of walking lines and sight lines around our rail, and hopefully start to see a bit more activity around here. So we'll be right back. Wonderful. So we're starting to see some suburban life slowly spring up around here now, which is great. Of course, wants detailing, which we'll do later on, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with it. There's something very satisfying about 2 deep European suburbia as well. Just gives you a nice simple suburbia, you know. It's always nice doing this, just general chill suburban expansion after, like, you know, it doesn't always have to be like a major massive sort of meat and potatoes build like the mall. You know, sometimes this just needs a gentle surround, and it's incredibly fun piecing these things together, isn't it? Wonderful. Our first batch of level 1 towers are now in for Vixen Heights. I really like these. Really good, easily repeatable patterns in vanilla as well, just because they're level 1. So we'll certainly start getting the next batch of those in. We'll hopefully see them come in sooner rather than later. It's always a wait, isn't it? It's always a wait. Cool. So what I would like to do now is, alongside just preparing more road frame for the suburb to grow out of. Are you going to give me that stupid stuff now? You are, aren't you? Oh, this is the most annoying. This is the most annoying little bug with these content creator stations, that you have to place them down again if you've missed their road connection. There we go. Cool. So what I would like to have a little go at, because we haven't tried it before due to the fact that we didn't have these new car parks in before, is to actually give it, or see if we can use the car park to give a bit more importance towards our service assets like med clinics and stuff like that. So there's like an actual car park outside the clinic for people to stop and park at. Let's see how that goes. So which way are we looking here? And these are 4 deep, aren't they? So let's prepare that next tile to come down this way, and we'll lose that one. Let's also not use a pedestrian road. And then we'll box them in, and then we'll grab ourselves a med clinic. Probably the European one is always a nice one, isn't it? Won't sit essentially, will the other one? The other one will, which is kinda nice. So maybe we go for that one outside, and then there's a happy little space there, isn't there? Perhaps looks like a post office might fit in there, actually. Absolutely does. Perfectly too. And then we've got some spaces, so it's really quite keen on just expanding this idea today. Just these little blocks of service assets like this. I think a bit of commercial would be welcome in there as well. Let's see if we can bait in one of our favourite commercial assets to complete that little suburban block. And then maybe a park of some sort, perhaps just a simple park plaza on the corner that will do a job here. I don't think there's a need to try and overthink it, is there? So we'll have that there, and then why don't we finish off that little block with a little pattern of live oaks. Those car parks make an enormous difference, don't they? Really do. So now we've just got this little plot of suburban activity, right? Just a little social hub. Place where people that live around here can come and book an appointment, or you know, maybe they need to come and post something, or visit a plaza. I guess they're kind of limited with what they can do exactly in this block, but you know that there's other commercial nearby, isn't there? And then we can increase our walkability through here as well. Cool, but that's nice, right? And there's pretty much limitless combinations of what we can actually put together here for this, isn't there? Just using car parks as the focal point, and that's going to sit really nicely outside of my train station. Big fan of that one. And hopefully some unhorrible commercial. Yeah, that's perfect. Nice one. We also get that little back alley there as well, which gives much more purpose to those props, doesn't it? Where we've got our dumpsters out the back now. One of my favourite things to do in vanilla, that. I really like that. That's really nice. Splendid and tremendous, everyone. Cool, we need to remember to turn that station off again as well since we replaced it. I haven't seen an intercity train arrive here yet. There are people waiting for them though. Yeah, they are coming, everyone's connected. There's no broken lines, we're alright. I guess it's just a waiting game. They are waiting though, so it must be on its way. Cool, so while that's growing up now, we've got all these walking pathways between our residential, keeping everyone moving. We could definitely actually do with having another bus line coming from the mall out and around this area, so we'll definitely do that once we've got some more suburbia frame wrapped up, which we'll stick in now. But I'm really starting to like the way that this suburb is looking now. The little pop of high density all around our sort of town centre social hub here is really coming together. And speaking of, I want to add something else into here as well. So since Bad Peanuts packs have released, I have had the Cricket gang all over me asking for Cricket to be added into Orchid Bay. I can't say I'm a massive Cricket lover myself. I'd rather watch, well, I don't know, eggs boil, which as you can imagine for someone like me would be absolutely horrific. But we'll throw in a Cricket pitch. Can't say I really understand the rules, but we'll go with it. So they're really fun, right? They've got all these little extendable pathways out. And yeah, I guess those are the wickets, right? And then you do a run or a ball, and then you win the wicket, is my understanding of cricket. I'm not entirely sure. I will leave the cricket gang down below to inform me of that. So let's just keep piecing this little social hub together, right? Some tastefully chosen commercial will work nicely here. We'll hopefully just let this grow up, I think. Also, some benches as well. Let's go into our park stuff and use our wonderful new search function. Let's go for a bench. I'm after the sort of double-sided ones here. Beer garden bench, that's the one. There's a couple of places here where, you know, people can chill out with a couple of ciders and maybe take a cricket ball to the head if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Enjoy the scenery, etc. Just a nice little open park space. Really hoping for some sort of like catfish cafe here would be great. Come on, catfish cafe. Or Sally's. Is that like a Sally's diner? I think so. We'll go for a Sally's diner, I think. Wonderful. Let's get some live oaks in here as well. How good are these parks? Really good. The sports venues pack is now in stock on Instant Gaming if anyone's been waiting to pick it up. The stock is usually a bit sketchy when something first releases just due to demand, but they seem to be alright now. That is not... Ooh. I was just about to say that's not appreciated asset repetition, but the double chairs there are kind of cute. But no, I do want something else other than that though. Wonderful. But they're really nice just additions into the suburbia, aren't they? These pictures. Enormous lover of them. And a big bite. That's going to be perfect for our little social hub, isn't it? Now, is there something else we're missing here we could possibly add in? How about a gymnasium? We haven't used a gymnasium for a while, have we? Oh, and if it fits, it sits. It fits and sits both ways. That is cannot be refused, right? Cannot be refused at all. And then I think we'll just leave it empty, right? We could do some poor man's surface painter just to flesh it out, but we're still left with the gaps. Yeah, let's just go for it. Might put a few trees or bushes down here, maybe. Go for a touch of eastern cottonwood along the side of the gym. Try hide some of those crap vanilla trees, because we are without Bob, of course. Bob is currently stuck in Thessia. That's going to be a nice little addition into our social hub there, isn't it? Very nice indeed. We've got a post office, a gym, med clinic, a couple of shops, a plaza, cricket field, a diner, and a fast food restaurant. It's very nice, isn't it? And I love those stairs at the end of the road as well on the station. How much of a difference are they making to the build? That's really nice. Love that. I really do like these stations. We don't use this one nearly enough. Cool, but still no intercity train has been spotted through here. Hopefully soon. They're definitely waiting for it. Don't know. Have I missed it again? Can we click on this here? Oh yes, we have missed it. There's been 82 servers this week. That's why then. We also want to... I mean, it's not going to be able to accept intercity trains anyway because it's not connected on the same line, but still. We'll see what happens. So what's happening over here? See, there is some other nice repeatable blocks. You could definitely go with these like curvy numbers and, you know, create something cool here, but I'm obsessed with this wood paneling. This is what I want, so I am going to wait for them. So we'll definitely do some more of these blocks around here where we can squeeze them in. They're really easy to get in, so we'll wrap up some designs around here and let's see if we can do another one out this way. So we want 360 by 360, and then we'll just amend that one to have that as well. Get another one in there, and then we'll treat this as like I said, sort of a gated community almost, I guess. Let's bring in our walking pathway. We're going to have this run down to the road now. We'll of course have this hook into our green cities at Vixen Heights also. And then I think, why don't we use... Are you going to fit? Oh, you're so close to fitting. You will fit. I will make you fit. You will go where I want you to. So let's have that there, and I'm thinking what we can have this as is kind of like a main entrance into the gated green cities flats. I don't think gated community is the right word here because it's not like a typical gated community, I don't think. It's more of the fact I just want like an entrance way into these sort of maybe desirable, slightly more expensive apartments. That one might not be a bad repeated pattern either, you know. There's always opportunities available. So we'll leave these in, right? Let's just keep getting them in. They will eventually come in during our time lapse. It's a long, slow grind. We will get there eventually. I promise we will. Cool, and then I think a little bit of... Should we go for the new fencing? I think it might be a little industrial looking. I actually think that park fencing will probably be the better choice here for a kind of fancier gated community. I'm probably putting too much thought into it. It's just a fence, isn't it? It is the most important part of the build after all. Yeah, okay, and then we keep this running and we can use it as a sort of crash barrier to stop people from flying into the river. That should be okay. And I think perhaps a slightly more desirable tree, maybe in the shape of a date palm, that we can maybe add a bit of fanciness into our little green cities area here. God, they're a tough grow, aren't they? We had that first batch and then the rest are just taking a billion years to come in. Actually, that was a repeated asset there, wasn't it? With that one. I don't know, I kind of want to try that one now I've seen it come in. I just deleted it as well, you idiot egg. shouldn't have done that. Anyway, see, that one's not a bad either. Repetition either, is it? Green Cities does have some really nice repeatable combos. If you're playing with Ploppable Rico, definitely some really nice combinations to be had with Green Cities. Cool, and then I think what we will do, we'll give these guys some of their own sort of private recreation facility that isn't available to the general public, and I think that would do well in the form of a couple of tennis courts here for them. Cool, but I think it's going to be a nice little addition, isn't it? It's also going to add to our, well, a very small amount of addition, but a little bit of a height into our medium density crawl here, isn't it? Those Green Cities towers now. I'm pretty happy with those. There's an exhilarating game of cricket going on, apart from she's had enough, she's not enjoying it. She's off to Sally's diner, isn't she? But I like that, right? Use the elder care as a sort of entrance into the facility. That's going to be quite fun. We'll also upgrade those trees on the road as well, once we get this fence wrapped up around the road. And I think after this, we should be looking at a detailing time-lapse thing, which is just about tying everything together. We've also had a few new questions about our prop line tool as well. This is now built into Prop Anarchy. You will notice we have the Prop Anarchy symbol down here. I'm playing with it off, but it's the only prop line tool available now in the game since the standalone one broke. I will leave it linked down below. It does have a couple of dependency mods, including Harmony, so you will need to get them, but it's the only prop line tool available now. Alright guys, but that does feel like a good place for detailing time-lapse. You just got to wait for our chosen assets to come in and let them grow up. I don't know whether to go fully repeated. We might leave something new in here. I guess we'll just sort of wait and see what grows. Lots of detailing, bushes and fences and pathways around to keep everyone interconnected. Some sort of barrier or at least natural overgrowth against our rail lines so they stand out a little bit more as highlighted networks, and then complete any European suburbia zonings that need to go in. And then hopefully come the end, we're only 1,500 population away now, so we've filled half the criteria today. The time-lapse should see the other half over the line, and then that will give us a new tile, that 40k population, and that actually allows us to open up this number here, doesn't it, where our downtown's going to sit. How tremendously exciting. I could also come down over here and start arsing about near Fields of Golden for the next 3 episodes. We'll see. Either way, let's get it detailed, and then we'll be right back. Okay everyone, let's have a detailing review, shall we? So this has turned into a wonderful leafy suburb. Absolutely love it. We'll have a little scan of what's happened here. So this bus terminal is crazy busy now, and this peaked at like 420 in the detailing time lapse. Currently at 226, but lots of busy bus platforms. We've also drawn in a school bus line as well to help serve the school. But then as we look across the field of car parking from Lunar Mauler, we just get a real nice sense of leafy suburbia. And you know, it's so satisfying piecing these things together. You know, sometimes I kind of get lost in the grander projects, you know, downtown road frames and malls and sort of financial districts. But you know, sometimes just a cute leafy suburb goes a long way. We've done some really cool things with our walking pathway, lots of 2 curved loops and then down an incremental step. And this pathway is siphoning off a ton of traffic from crossing in this road. And when the trains come in the metro, this place gets crazy busy. You probably would have seen some footage during the time lapse. And I love the combination of these stations. It's given us this really green transport hub, hasn't it? Here we go. We'll experience it together. Is there going to be an intercity train coming in? It's not a vastly busy one though, is it? Yeah, it's really nice, right? People using the stairs and grabbing metro. The buses are also stopping a little further down the road there as well, which is great. Yeah, so this is cute. Lots of gardens around here, lots of looping pathways. It's all really pretty. Then around our social hub for the suburb, we've dropped in a little bit of fencing with some classic park props just to create a kids playground, with some balloons from the amusement park stuff and a little jacaranda which turned out quite nicely. Really love the little alleyways we've given ourselves here with selective asset selection. Super cute, really happy with it. Just spills into this plaza, there's dumpsters behind, and then we come into our cricket pitch here too, which is getting used now, which is great. Hopefully see some people just picked a toolbox up out the grass. I'm not sure what she's doing there. But whatever, right, they are enjoying a game of cricket at least. And then this suburbia spills back up into the forested mountains of Orchard Bay, right? It's got a really cute sort of nice outer line suburbia vibe out this way with all this forest around it. And of course we're preparing our networks to both go east, I think this is actually west, isn't it? This is going west and then of course north as well down this end as we plant those eventual connections in. Also tunnel going through there now as well. Also brought the road up the hill a little bit, just so we've got some of that classic hillside housing, which looks really cute. And these guys get a really nice view across Orchid Bay. What a wonderful place to live, right? Living at the top of this hill. Superb view across that mini skyline. You can imagine what it's going to be like once the main towers are in. Really looking forward to getting stuck into Orchid Bay. And speaking of, we did actually hit the milestone. We've actually gone 2,000 over it now. So this suburb has done more than the job, and we've also named it to Biffa Gardens as well, because Biffa has been really enjoying the build guide. He's left us a lot of comments, so thank you so much, Biffa. Let me tell you, I started my channel watching you, so to have you enjoying my series is very surreal. So thank you, Biffa, for the comments and the support, my friend. And then the suburbia spills out now. We get a little cross over here, and then a little 4-lane loops back around into this forested suburb where we've tree-lined our train path that cuts through the middle of this now with some pathway around it. And then lots of trees and classic walkability spots for people to get back onto the main road, where you can see them making use of there. And then I think our school bus is also using this bus cut through as well to get back to the terminal. So it's a really nice, happy, busy suburb. Lots of public transport there. We go up to 364 this week. That's turned out really nicely. It's a very satisfying part of town to watch this one. There's just people everywhere. And especially this bridge over here as well. Maybe when people come out, you just get a sense of it here, right? We're definitely due a first-person walking tour in Orchid Bay pretty soon. And this might be a place that we choose to come and walk around, I think. We watch it again. This is what we're all here for, isn't it? We're all here to watch the insane amount of walking porn that we have in Orchid Bay. The most walkable of the OE cities, I think, so far, isn't it? But really like this path configuration. Oh, look at that. Wow. Yes, wonderful. So then we come down the high street onto those commercial zones that we've dropped in. Just a bit of high density commercial. I don't mind a slightly taller tower there. And to be honest, I'm not massively averse to the pink octopus here either. I think it's alright. Don't massively hate it. And then that fades out as the arterial road leaves Biffa Gardens and Lunar Mauler and Vixen Heights, everything that's over here. And speaking of Vixen Heights, we had a great suggestion from the kitchen wench to actually implement some key up against this side and then fade into a rock wall and then back to the natural riverbank, which I thought was a really nice idea. So we have introduced a little bit of walkable key into the front of Lunar Mauler over here. And then we finally have all our Green Cities assets in. This is definitely one of the easier patterns to get in, the 4x3 level ones. And they just, they don't take nearly as long to come in. Just gotta be patient if you're without ploppable Rico. And they're great, right? They just work. They're just sort of like nice modern high-rises. It's a little bit of a more private community area here. You're not just allowed to waltz into this. They've got great access to shopping over here as well, and yeah, it's just really cute. On hindsight now, this could probably do with some parking, which I might throw in during the cinematics, but yeah, just a nice little happy one. I love the fact that they've got a little community pool to share here together, and child healthcare centre as well. Yeah, just nice little use of Green Cities there, so thanks for the idea for that one. It's worked out really nicely and added in some more sort of medium density into Orchid Bay, hasn't it? But otherwise, guys, that is going to do it for today. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, likes, comments and shares below really do help me out. As much if you haven't enjoyed it, leave me a dislike as well. Super happy with Orchid Bay, and we are now able to finally unlock that downtown tile. You guys will have to let me know. Do we go to downtown next, or do we go to the farms and finish that area first? We also have to wait and see. And I definitely want to do a first-person walking tour through Orchid Bay, so expect that on the channel pretty soon as well. Otherwise, please enjoy your cinematics of this new area. It's been a really nice accompaniment to the mall space that we developed last episode. And again, thanks for all the support on the channel. 70k subs and still rocketing up. It's crazy. It blows me away. Very overwhelming. Thank you for the support. It's nice to meet so many of you, and welcome to the channel. We'll shut up and leave it there. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.